Live from Portland, Oregon, it's the Godfather Minute. Give for some applause and stuff at the start.
Yeah.
Hosted by Alex Robinson.
With special guest Andy Robinson.
And together they are the Godfather Minute Brothers. Woo. Today we're talking about minute 93 of The Godfather.
Minute 93 all day.
Minuto numero 93.
Oh my gosh, you were so close. You got the end right. Tre.
The middle part
right.
wrong?
The first part right. It's 93.
90. Wow, I was close.
Really close.
93.
That's the closest you've ever been to guessing the number.
That sounds like Yolanda Vega. She used to do the lotto numbers back east.
Yeah.
So we're talking about minute 93. It's a pretty simple one. The Don is taken home via an ambulance from the hospital, and he's greeted by his loving family.
What a family.
Most of them, anyway.
Yeah. What a nice homecoming.
Yeah. One thing I figured out is this must be months later. He must have been in the hospital for months, because if you notice, everyone's dressed in very warm, like springtime clothes.
Yeah.
Do you know by any chance how long he was in the hospital?
I don't know.
The book doesn't have any.
It probably does. I'm not prepared to answer that. I could find out. I don't mean right. Oh, you mean right now? You want me to find out?
No.
That'd be an interesting podcast episode. People just hear me leafing through the book. Like, all right, hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Sonny. No,
yeah, you'd have to mumble
Santino,
what you were looking through.
Walt. I will try to find out.
Okay. We'll ask, we'll answer. So yeah, we get a little shot of the ambulance. What looks like suspiciously like the Causeway.
It does look like the Causeway. I pointed that out.
Where Sonny will. Speaking of which, we haven't really had much chance to play our new countdown yet. Why don't we play? How many minutes until Sonny gets shot on the Causeway?
Let's do it. Alex says, let's play it and then we'll take guesses to the minutes. Ready? Here's the Causeway countdown.
Pop had Jinko, you're stuck with Hagen.
The Lotso might not even be in the car, Sonny.
But he's right to steal his heart, lots of money he'll be making.
A lot of money in that white car. Lucy, I'm home.
Made a big mistake, should have kept your mouth shut.
Sonny was hot for my deal, and you can't talk business with him.
And Carlo made a mess, now you gotta clean it up.
Now clean it up!
Pop's in a coma, Fredo's losing his mind. Where the hell is Luca? You are out of time. Tick tock, we're counting down every day.
What can I do?
To get to Carlo, gotta make it through the causeway.
Sonny on the Causeway.
Listen to me, you better listen to Clemenza's wife.
Don't forget the cannoli.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay the final toll with your life.
So how many minutes do you think are left, Alex?
Very good song.
Thanks.
Well, this is minute 93. I'm gonna say
When does Sonny get shot on the Causeway?
I'm gonna say minute 128. So you think it's gonna be 90? It's 93 minus 128 is 33 minutes.
You way overshot, Alex.
Really?
I think
I'm a big shot.
I think the Sicily scenes are shorter than we make them out to be.
Really? They just feel really long.
Yeah, it's minute 119.
Oh, so it's only 20 minutes away.
Only 20 minutes.
So
you know what that means?
What?
We need to get the fans to
vote
pick
on the new
next
countdown. All right. Well, if you go to godfatherminute.com/support, if you're a supporter over there, we'll put up a poll as to what we think the next countdown should be.
Yeah.
Because you only have 20 weeks to work on it.
I know. It does go by fast when
What is that, like October?
it might be, 20 weeks. Was that 5 months?
Yeah, so 1,000 hours?
Like 10,000 months?
So cool looking ambulance.
Ambulance goes whizzing by. The first thing I thought of too, like that is absolutely the causeway. Well, it makes sense. It's a thoroughfare going to wherever they live on Long Beach.
So you think they have to pay the toll? Do ambulances pay tolls?
Oh boy.
Or does that count as like if you're being escorted home? It's not like an emergency. They do have the sirens on.
Well, that's what I put in my notes. The question: why are the sirens on?
It's the Godfather.
But just to get him home more quickly.
Yeah,
because he'll be more comfortable at home, so they want him in the ambulance as little as possible.
I guess so.
I think I thought it'd be more stressful if you're in an ambulance and the sirens are going. They must be kind of loud, right?
Have you ever been in an ambulance? Like an active ambulance, not a stationary ambulance.
Yeah, I don't think so. No. How about you?
I was one time.
What happened?
My wife Kristen, who was diabetic, had some blood sugar problems, and we had to call the ambulance one time.
Did you all have to pay the toll?
We didn't pay the ferryman. I know that much, but no, I feel like we were in a toll-free zone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure. I'm going to say they probably let ambulances.
You know what?
We'll ask, we'll answer. Write that down.
Write that down for the bonus content. My guess is, so for people who haven't been to New York, and it's probably similar in other big cities, a lot of the highways in the city, around the city, have tolls, and you can get through with an easy pass, which is just sort of a scanned pass, so you don't actually have to.
Yeah, I think most major metropolitan areas have their own version of that these days.
Yeah, probably. Because I was talking to people in the middle of the country that might not have those. So I'm guessing what am I talking about? Every city's probably got them now, right?
Every city with tolls at this point probably has some variation.
Yeah. So it's fascinating. For those of you who don't know the technology, there's a plastic chip and you go through this particular lane and a laser shoots down and reads it and deducts the funds right from your Easy Pass account.
Oh, wow.
It's that easy.
But I don't have time to sign up and fill out complicated forms.
That's good. You don't need time to fill out the forms because I just signed you up.
It's that easy?
It's that easy.
Are there hidden costs and charges?
You would think so, but nope. I've already pre-charged you for the next 300 times you go through, Alex, so you never have to deal with papers or billing and customer service again.
What you couldn't see for the people at home is during that scene there was a cut-in of someone in their car, like with all receipts and stuff flying around as they try to look for their money and stuff, and receipts and paperwork.
Yeah, and he's pulled over on the side of the road.
Oh, right.
In traffic while someone pulls right next to him, looks over, laughs, and goes right through the Easy Pass.
An ambulance behind him with a siren going,
honking like, I'm moving, buddy.
She talked me into it.
Why are we talking about Easy Pass receipts?
Because you're asking, does it go through? Does the ambulance
go through?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, it was odd to me that the sirens were going, but I guess it makes sense that Don has special privileges.
Yeah. Maybe they don't ask for it. Put the siren on.
Yeah.
They let him play with it. He's the one who gets to use it.
Do you think Fredo's driving? Pick pop up in the airport. Pick pop up in the ambulance.
I thought because we were talking about letting him play with the ambulance. I pictured him, Fredo sitting in the lap of the real driver, like, I'm driving an ambulance, Pop.
Yeah, it's a lot like driving a limo, Pop.
Pick someone up at drive someone home from the emergency room. Speaking of Fredo, when they go back to the house, we see Fredo there. He's part of the mob of people.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
him
I noticed him. He's part of the group there. He doesn't have any talking lines, but you definitely see him there.
Excellent.
As well as Connie. We haven't seen her for a while too, and now she is visibly pregnant in this scene.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that lets us know, I guess, that it's been
time's passed.
Time has passed.
Hagen's there. Mama's there. Mama.
Yeah.
All the kids are there. All the like young kids. It struck me that all the children, not the babies, but the children are all dressed up. Did you notice that? They're all in like nice suits.
Yeah. In the script, it says it's their Sunday. It's like their church clothes.
Yeah.
That they're all wearing their nicest clothes for. That's
nice.
Isn't
that interesting? To me, I'm always fascinated by how much in the past people used to dress up more frequently than they do now.
Yeah.
on plane. My wife told me that her earliest memories of being on a plane, everybody was dressed up. It's like a special occasion to fly somewhere.
Right, yeah.
And people would dress up.
I mean, nowadays, people more or less walk around in pajamas all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Slippers and pajamas.
compared to like 100 years ago when like women especially had like corsets and all that stuff like that. But even men had like, you know, sock garters and hats and ties and vests and collars and what else things called? Champagne cocktails. No, cufflinks and tie clips and ties and watches on the chains.
You said watches already.
No, I said, but I meant wristwatches, but now I mean watches like on a chain, like
on
a
a
fob.
chain.
Yeah.
That's where they had glasses, they had monocles.
Oh my gosh.
They had top hats and canes. Did you say canes?
I didn't say canes, spats.
What's a spat?
Spat are those where you'll see a rich person and they're wearing like black shoes, but there's like a white, like a white
What are those, saddle shoes?
They look kind of like saddle shoes. I'll show you during the break, during the We Ask Me Answer. I'll show you what spats are. You see like Scrooge McDuck and like old fashioned, old timey. You know who wears spats? Mr. Monopoly, Rich Uncle Pennybags.
Right.
Like
I
that
can't see his feet in my mind right now, but I'll look.
Okay,
Spats.
Why
were they called Spats? Is that a brand name?
I don't know. We asked. We'll answer. Well, and of course, whenever you're talking about The Godfather, you're going to talk about, do ambulances go through tolls and why are they called spats?
Yeah, because they're so related. The kids are all dressed up. So I've got some stuff from the book, but it's unrelated to these scenes. Just like last minute, there are Puzo's writings about other parts of the movie that were cut out.
Okay. Well,
what else you got?
The only thing, so at the end of the scene, it's various children coming up and saying hello to Don as he lays in bed. The script does not identify the first girl. I think it's funny the second when the kid, I think it's is it Teresa or who's holding the kid, or is it who's
the crying infant?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Sandra? I don't know. I can never tell.
Yeah. It's Sonny's wife.
It's Sonny's wife.
I think it's Sonny's wife, Sandra.
Okay.
I think. Why? What's the?
Well, anyway,
what's your observation?
I didn't know who that. There's that kid in the end who's like. So anyway, what's funny about that is that when the kid is crying and the woman says to him, "I'm sorry, he doesn't know you yet." Yeah, like she kind of looks like if the baby knew him, then the baby would be like, "Oh, hello, Godfather. Would you like some sake?
Hello, Godfather. Will you be my friend?" You gotta teach this kid respect from the beginning. Put a little Senka in his bottle. Warm it up just right.
The Don was like offended. Why does a kid come crying to me? Well, treat me with more respect. What can I do? You can act like a slightly older baby.
Yeah. You spend time with your mother? Good.
A baby doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real baby.
he's just rambling because of the morphine and the bullets. He's just all not making sense. He's all, Fredo. Oh, that's the foreshadowing of Michael having the heart attack and calling for Fredo.
Oh, right.
And I was like, Fredo. Fredo, I'm right here, Pop. I'm ready to bring you. Where do you want to go?
Here's something I learned. So there's a scene where they're carrying the Don up the stairs in his ambulance gurney, / stretcher. So apparently they were filming this, and they said, okay, so we need some strong guys to be able to lift this thing up.
And one of the guys looked like Luca Brasi. He really did.
So there were these guys who were like playing the orderlies, I guess they would be. And they're like, oh, we're really strong. Don't worry about it. We can pick it up. And so they're like, okay, let's set up for the next shot or whatever. And then Marlon Brando was like, hey, let's have a little fun. And so they went and got a bunch of sandbags. And basically, as Marlon Brando was laying in the gurney, they put like sandbags on him under the blanket and under the bottom of the gurney. So that when they went to go lift it, the guys were like, ooh, like really, I think it was like over 500 pounds worth of like Marlon Brando plus like 250 pounds worth of sandbags.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And so,
What a great-
so Francis Ford Coppola's like, remember, you just got to do it real smooth and just go, because he knew that it was
He
gonna
was
be
in on
heavy.
it?
Yeah. That they were going to be struggling with it. And so then they tried to lift it. And they were like, they did it, but they said they were really like,
That's so. What
struggling.
we see in the movie is that, or is that kind of a second?
I was
take?
watching and it doesn't seem like they seem like they're lifting it up pretty well in that thing. So I don't know if that just means they were good at, they really were strong and that they could fake it really well, or that was like a different take, once they.
What a great gag to play on some actors. That's so funny.
And plus, you're like, hey, Marlon Brando played a prank on me. Like, what a great, you're
That's
dining
such
on that story for the rest of
It's
your
such a
life.
touching story because everything you hear about making the Godfather, everyone's all stressed out and
That's
they're
true,
behind
yeah.
schedule and over budget. Like, let's play a little joke on these guys. That's great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What else you got before?
So the last kid we hear talking is Frank, who is Santino's.
Yeah, that's Sonny's son.
Yeah. So there's four. Santino has four kids.
Well,
Santino Jr.
I think 5, Alex.
Oh yeah, that's true. Four kids with Sandra.
Sandra.
I think they're the parents of those twin girls we see lurking
Yes.
around sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Santino Jr., Francesca and Catherine, and Frank.
Yeah, and Francesca in a deleted scene in Godfather 2, I think it's Francesca who goes to Michael Corleone in the beginning with her fiance and asks permission to get married.
Oh, really?
I think it's Francesca.
I'm pretty sure that's Connie.
No, it's the deleted scene.
Oh, in the deleted scene.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Doesn't
It's interesting.
Doesn't Johnny Fontaine wind up marrying the twins?
Oh, he does.
Or one of the
marry one. He
twins?
does. Yes. We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Oh man, total meat factory.
So I wondered if because Sonny was at least for a short time the Don. Mm-hmm. Did Frank think he was going to inherit was Frank like, I got stepped over? Did he think he was going to be the new Godfather?
Do you think everything that played out with the adults also played out in the world of the children?
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I want respect. I didn't get stepped over. And then Sophia Coppola,
yeah.
or I don't know who would be the Michael Corleone. I guess it'd be Michael's son, Anthony.
Anthony?
Yeah.
Anthony!
Anthony, give your cousin a hug and step him over.
I'm picturing being like Muppet babies or like Godfather babies, like sort of like them, like Sonny would play Sonny Jr.
Yeah.
And then they'd be in a room where like the furniture was all big so that they looked like they were small.
And it would be the same story, but it would be in the settings, like children's settings, like sandboxes.
Yeah, where the children go to play with their toys.
Yeah. Oh, and remember when Hagen gets Michael's son Anthony that little electric car to drive around?
Yeah.
That would be equivalent to like Sonny's car when he's driving out to the causeway to go beat up Carlo.
How many minutes away is that?
Until what?
Until Sonny gets shot on the causeway.
Minute 119.
Pop had Jinko, you're stuck with Hagen.
The Alonso might not even be in the car, Sonny.
But he's right to steal his heart, lots of money he'll be making.
A lot of money in that white car.
Lucy, I'm home.
Made a big mistake, should have kept your mouth shut.
Sonny was hot for my deal. You can't talk business with him.
And Carlo made a mess, now you gotta clean it up.
Now clean it up!
Pop's in a coma, Fredo's losing his mind. Where the hell is Luca? You are out of time. Tick tock, we're counting down every day.
What can I do? What can I do?
To get to Carlo, gotta make it through the causeway.
Sonny on the causeway.
Listen to me, you better listen to Clemenza's wife.
Don't forget the cannoli.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay the final toll with your life.
So that's all I have for.
We already played the song.
I know. I just wanted to hear it again.
Okay. It's nice and quick.
Yeah.
What'd you think of all the clips from the movie I dropped in?
I like it. It's. I mean, I think like you add more each time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I was telling you off the air that I would love to hear you do a song that was just made, like there'd be music, but like because I guess the beginning where he's going bit 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 bit.
It works.
Yeah. So you could totally do it. Like
you can manipulate it. Yeah. It would have to be a dance tune, something upbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, if you wanted to put melody in there, I guess you could. You could grab stuff from Johnny Fontane's scene, him singing and Mama singing. You can grab some melodies there,
or auto tune some of the other dialogue. You could turn it into. Have you ever seen those auto tune the news things? There's a whole cottage industry of people who take like news footage and auto tune the dialogue into songs.
Oh, that's funny. Oh yeah, I've seen some of those. Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for minute 93. You got anything else?
I do have. Oh yeah, I got stuff from the book.
Is the book different than the movie?
The book is different than the movie.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie. The book is different. The book is different. The book is different than the movie. Yeah.
So, like I said,
we're gonna get every theme song into this one.
We are. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure your fans really want to know who the real Alex Robinson is.
Who is the real Alex Robinson?
Well, I'll tell you.
Who is the real Alex Robinson? So I want to talk about a little bit more of the flashbacks because I'm at the part of the book where Puzo goes, like I said, he doesn't write chronologically. Mm-hmm. So back to Hollywood. So this is already, Hagen has visited Johnny a second time and said, hey, you need to get into the movie. You need to become a producer. You need to man up.
You can act like a man.
You can act like a man. We're going to bankroll you $20 million. Mm-hmm. Wait. Are you trying to tell me that the Corleone family guaranteed $20 million in finance?
If you just consider $20 million just finance.
And so at this point, the Godfather gets shot. And so Puzo writes about Johnny in Hollywood when he hears the news
about it.
Yeah, hearing about it. So Johnny... I
wish we knew where everyone was when they heard the news that he got shot. That would be an interesting...
Yeah, it's like JFK getting shot,
right.
Or Twin Towers coming down. You always remember.
In our musical version, it would definitely be a montage of everyone singing their theme while they looked at the news. A sad minor key version of their theme.
Yeah,
while they looked at the news.
Yeah,
because the Turk would be all happy.
Fun. Yeah.
Fredo would be like, finally, I get to take over.
Yeah, that's right. But at the very end, it'd be, he's still alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the Godfather gets shot. Puzo writes all about that. And Johnny now is worried that he won't get the Academy Award.
It's good to know his priorities are in order.
Well, Puzo wrote that he is...
What about me?
Yeah, well, he writes that he is worried about the Godfather, but he's also worried about... not getting the Academy Award. So at this time, of course, Nino Valenti is in Hollywood. That's his childhood friend. Mm-hmm. And the Don really wanted Johnny to take him under his wing and try to do something for him in Hollywood. Johnny was always supposed to help Nino become a big star. Let's see. So Puzo writes. So this is interesting. Puzo writes, when they talked about the Don getting shot, Nino said to Johnny, we don't have a voice for Nino yet.
They can be like, duh. We don't have a voice like that yet.
Once I asked the Don for a job in his organization and he wouldn't give it to me. I was tired of driving a truck and I wanted to make a lot of dough. You know what he told me? He says, every man has only one destiny, and that my destiny was to be an artist, meaning that I couldn't be a racket guy.
I thought your destiny was to drive trucks.
And Nino is a really talented singer.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why the Godfather always wanted Johnny to take him.
Didn't want him to get mixed up in the rackets.
Yeah. But
you could have been singer Nino or actor Nino. It wasn't a time, Nino.
Well, what's wrong, Pop?
What's Nino's last name?
Valenti.
Valenti.
Yeah. So when Nino told Johnny this, Johnny thought that one over. The Godfather must be just about the smartest guy in the world. He'd known immediately, this is Johnny. Johnny knew immediately that Nino could never make a racket guy, would only get himself in trouble or get killed. Get killed with just one of his wisecracks. But how did the Don know that he would be an artist? Because, goddammit, he figured that someday I'd help Nino. And how did he figure that? Because he would drop the word to me and I would try to show my gratitude. Of course, he never asked me to do it. He just let me know it would make him happy if I did it. Johnny Fontaine sighed. Now the Godfather was hurt, in trouble, and he could kiss the Academy Award goodbye with Waltz working against him and no help on his side. Only the Don had the personal contacts that could apply pressure on the Corleone family. Only the Don had the personal contacts that could apply pressure, and the Corleone family had other things to think about. Johnny had offered to help. Hagen had given him a curt no.
How was Johnny going to do to help?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sing by the Don's bed?
Show up and complain and his voice is weak.
Wake up!
You're all better now.
Sorry.
Welcome back. You're out of your coma now. The voice hard to do. But anyway, the first half of that was interesting. Again, it's about the influence of Don Corleone.
So
Don Corleone didn't tell Nino that every man has one destiny because he really believed Nino's destiny was to be a musician. He did it because he figured Johnny would help him become a star.
But why would he want Johnny to do that unless the guy already had talent?
Well, I guess he was already talented, but the Don's smart. He knows that it takes connections and
right. So I don't understand why is Johnny seems to be saying that the only reason like that Nino is a musician is because I'm the one taking care of him.
Well, I think it's part that, but it's also part the Don knew he wouldn't be good in the family business. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, this guy's got talent and Johnny's clearly going places. So, hey, and they like Nino. Nino was kind of like in the family.
Yeah.
He was a family friend. Oh, so Johnny, you can take him with you.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it looks like Johnny's not going to get the Academy Award. I wonder now Waltz is like, it serves the Don right.
Do we know if he ever does get the Academy Award?
We will find that out soon.
Okay, good. So that story is resolved.
It is, yep. And so in my next point, I have Johnny gets the Academy Award.
Whoa, Johnny Fontaine must have been beside himself.
Oh, he must have been so mad. I don't think Puzo writes anything about Waltz. That would have been nice to include that in there.
Do you think Waltz had to
You don't understand. Johnny Fontaine never gets that award.
Since he produced the picture, I'm assuming do they at least pretend to like each other for the public?
Puzo wrote that this was behind the scenes, that all this vying for the award and Waltz sabotaging Johnny's chances because he didn't want to draw any negative attention to the film.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it was all behind the scenes.
So like when they're doing publicity photos after he wins the award, is Jack Waltz posing with?
Oh, I don't know.
With him, or is he like, I have a chest cold. I can't make it to the press photos.
I can't make it. I'm mentoring one of Waltz International's new proteges tonight. Acting lessons.
I can't make it. I'm having some Italian food in that restaurant.
Yeah. It's the best in the city. What else we got? And then Puzo writes a whole nother section, another chapter. Don Corleone in early New York. So what we see in Godfather 2 is in the Godfather original book.
I wonder if people...
So I'm not going to report on it until we get to GF2.
So you're going to read the book again once we get to read GF2.
Yeah, so remind me when we get to those scenes in GF2 to refer to the original book.
I'll make note of it. Writing it down. Tell Andy to read the book. Oh, so I wonder if when the movie first came out, because nowadays,
About the Academy Awards?
Well, no, just specifically about like if you're adapting a popular book into a movie nowadays, if you're like, oh, we're just going to cut out all the backstory.
Yeah.
People would be like outraged.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how could you do? You're totally ruining the book.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. So I wonder if there was any of that, if people expected,
because the book was very popular.
Yeah, the book was already
people
popular.
I've gone and say like, oh, where's Nino?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to Nino? We don't see Johnny win the award.
I want to see that woman's giant vagina. Yeah. Do you know who Sonic the Hedgehog is?
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog, popular video game character. They just dropped a trailer for a new Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Had there not been a movie?
There had not been a movie, and it's
okay.
a CGI Sonic the Hedgehog running around and stuff. And the reaction was so bad that the studio said, "Hey, you know what? We listened to your complaints. We're going to totally redesign the character in the movie."
So aligned more with the video game?
Or well,
is that what the complaints were about?
I don't know specifically, but the fact that the movie's coming out like in the summer and they're like, oh, you know what, we're totally gonna recreate the main character. It seems like a bad precedent of listening to internet trolls who are like complaining about stuff and being like, okay, we're totally gonna change it to suit you guys.
That's one perspective. But in my world, I work in education. You want to be gathering formative assessment all the time from students and from staff about programs, because you want to craft the best program, the one that's most accepted and it's going to have the best impact. So don't you want to cater to your audience?
No, because I think art is different, because the audience doesn't necessarily know what it wants. I think the artist has to have the freedom to challenge people and not just spoon feed them whatever they want to, you know what I mean?
Good point.
I mean, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's not like this is some work of art or, it's totally just made. So from that point of view, yes, in this case they should, because it's a total just cash grab merchandise kind of movie.
So you're not saying that Coppola, being the director of his Hedgehog movies, like, no, I'm getting Al Pacino. I don't care what Paramount says.
Yeah, exactly.
He's perfect for the part.
Of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I would do a Sonic the Hedgehog line in Al Pacino's voice, but I don't know anything about Sonic the Hedgehog.
I couldn't couldn't tell you either.
What's in the video game? What does Sonic do?
He runs around.
Digging?
His big thing is he runs really fast.
Okay.
He can like kick into turbo. I don't know I think he just runs.
Okay.
And jumps.
Just when I run away real fast and jump, they pull me right back in.
Yeah. I'm sure right now there's some people who are like 2 years younger than us who are like, Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't do that. So
2 years younger? Is it really that close to us?
Because I remember I remember like my roommates playing it in college and stuff. So I feel like just because we weren't into video games, we just didn't pay attention to it. But I feel like if we were, we probably would know.
Does Sonic the Hedgehog video game and soon to be movie have anything to do with Sonic the fast food chain?
I don't think it does. It'd be a shame if they missed out on that marketing opportunity.
Absolutely.
For the
I'd try one of those hedgehog burgers.
It's made from real hedgehogs.
A lot of protein in them hedgehogs.
Do we have anything else for minute 93?
Yes, just one other part in the book that's not in the movie. So 3 months after Michael shoots the Turk and McCluskey,
about 90 days.
Guess who gets a visit from 2 police detectives?
The Louis restaurant?
Nope, I'll give you a hint. They drive all the way from New York to New Hampshire.
Kay Adams.
That's right. 2 detectives visit Kay Adams at her parents' home in New Hampshire. And one of the detectives is Detective Phillips.
From the guy who said he's a war hero, Captain?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the guy on the Corleone's payroll.
Yeah.
Now, Puzo just writes that he is Detective Phillips. It's got to be the same detective, right? I mean, he worked for McCluskey. He's probably trying to help solve the crime.
Yeah.
Right? It's just interesting that he's on the or at least was on the Corleone payroll. I don't know if he is anymore.
Do you think he knows that the Corleones?
Yeah. If it's the same Detective Phillips, because remember, he was the one who called Sonny and said they're going to be at Louis' restaurant.
Right.
That's where McCluskey's going to be.
Well, we don't know if that was that. Do we know that was Phillips?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Puzo wrote that in the book.
Oh.
That was their inside man.
So he's obviously not going to try to solve the crime.
unless he's no longer on, unless the pressure is too great to solve it, because no one has ever gunned down a police captain, Alex.
Yeah, but if he solved it, then he would be complicit. They would find out that he's the one who alerted them as to where he doesn't want them tracing it back to the Corleones, because then he'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
He's a police hero, Captain.
The detectives speak with Kay alone, so in another room, and her parents, or at least her dad, is there in another room, and they're telling her, "Hey, Michael Corleone, we know he did this. What do you know? Tell us." And she refuses to believe it, and it's legit. She just doesn't believe. She's like, "There's no way he could do it. He's
so naive."
Yeah, he's not a murderer. Let me get to it.
Do they ask her how she explains the fact that he left for Sicily the very night that the police captain was gunned down?
She just won't believe it. I don't.
What about the fact his fingerprints were found all over the table?
And they must have been planted. That's the worst, Kay. They must have been planted, Anthony. No, that's Connie. How do you do K? Oh, I got it.
It's in a book.
That's so good. The fingerprints were planted, Michael. They were planted.
So K is just Tom Hagen with a slightly higher pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. You got it. Oh, Detective Phillips.
There's your husband.
This interview with the police is unholy. I should run for cover, Sonny.
Well, to do a duet between Kay Adams and Tom Hagen.
Okay, so
any other behind the scenes?
So the detective interview. There's some interesting stuff here. So
Miss Adams,
Phillips Puto writes. Phillips asked Kay. Phillips is definitely the one who's not laying it on as thick. Will you let us know if Mike contacts you?
Mike.
Kay shook her head. The other detective, Sirianni, said roughly, "We know you two have been shacking up together. We have the hotel records and witnesses. If we let that information slip to the newspapers, your father and mother would feel pretty lousy, eh?" There's no ad there.
Newspaper reporters might like a story like that.
Real respectable people like them wouldn't think much of a daughter shacking up with a gangster. If you don't come clean right now, I'll call your old man in here and give it to him straight.
Whoa.
Because he's in the other room right now. Kay looked at him with astonishment. Then she got up and went to the door of the study and opened it. She could see her father standing at the living room window, sucking at his pipe. She called out, "Dad, can you join us? Dad, can you get him a drink?" He turned, smiled at her, and walked to the study. When he came through the door, he put his arm around his daughter's waist and faced the detectives and said, "Yes, gentlemen?" When they didn't answer, Kay said coolly to Detective Sirianni, "Give it to him straight, officer."
Oh.
Sirianni flushed. "Mr. Adams, I'm telling you."
Mr. Adams.
"Dear Mr. Adams, your daughter's been involved in a crime."
This will be the comedy really. I always save that. We'll just save this for the bonus content.
You got to at least tell people what we were referencing there.
That was 1776.
The musical.
The musical.
That's right.
Starring John Adams.
So one other part of the book I want to talk about, Alex, is so Kay's not really sure after this whole thing. She's like, ugh. So she goes to the compound. And she sees Hagen. She says, "I'd like to see Michael," or like, "Where's Michael?" And she's not that she knows
Hagen
he's gone.
and Kay do have a scene together.
Yeah. So this scene is what takes place.
Where's Michael? I can't tell you.
I know we can't let you leave the compound, Kay. We can meet all your needs here. She's not
It's
even
unholy.
She's like, but we're not even at that part in the movie. I'm allowed to live. I'm not even married to him. "I'm sorry, Kay. You can't go to Reno." "I'm sorry, Kay." So she goes to try to find out more. And it is that scene in the movie. She says, "Hey, did he do it?" Well, that doesn't happen in the movie, but Hagen says, "I don't know. We know he's safe, but we don't know where he is." Yeah. Kay says, "Hey, can you give him this letter?" And he's like, "Sorry, I can't accept that." And it's funny the phrasing of that. "If I accepted that letter and you told the court of law I accepted that letter, it might be interpreted as my having knowledge of his whereabouts. Why don't you just wait a bit? I'm sure Mike will get in touch."
Is that? I wonder if that's. I mean, before you save that conversation for when it happens in the movie, but if that is like legally true, like if you drop it off at his house, couldn't you legally argue that? Well, we're just keeping it there until he might come home someday. We don't know where he is, but if we're gonna leave it for this is where he lived. So, although we actually didn't live there, as far as we know, he was like probably lived in the city.
Yeah.
Although if he lived in the city, why were they staying at a hotel?
It's not clear where he's staying.
Where does Michael live?
Wow. I don't know. And maybe he's not planning on staying there very long. I guess we really don't know. What
maybe
his
he's just
were.
out of the Marines and he's probably staying at his parents' house.
Yeah.
You know those you know how those mustache Pete's are. You live at home until you get married.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
And so before she leaves, check this out. She sees Mama. And so she goes to talk to Mama.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And interestingly, in the book, Mama has a very, very heavy Italian accent. And in the movie, she doesn't, right? Even in GF1?
She has a slight accent. But
it's not very strong. In the book, it's very strong.
Yeah. I'm sure they didn't want to have anyone speaking with like too Chico Marxy of an accent just because of the sensitivity about it already being, about Italians and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have Mama being like, hey, he's a good boy. You know what I'm saying? Shut up for your face. People would think that would. Anyway, go ahead.
Where's Dominic the donkey? It's okay. Talks to Mama. Mama invites her in for coffee and bread and cheese. Puto writes, I am going to do a very strong Mama Corleone accent, just heads up.
Because you're reading the book.
I really am. And Puto writes that it is a very heavy Italian accent.
Right.
Puto writes, page 235, after they drank their coffee, Mrs. Corleone took one of Kay's hands in her two brown ones.
In her two brown ones.
I never noticed that. Yeah. She said quietly, Mikey no gonna write you.
Oh boy, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's really heavy. Yeah. Mikey no gonna write you. You no gonna hear from Mikey. He hide 2-3 years.
For your father. From your father.
It almost sounds like Apollonia. He hide 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
No.
Maybe more, maybe much more. You go home to your family and find a nice young fella and get married.
Aw.
Kay took the letter out of her purse. Will you send this to him? The old lady took the letter and patted Kay on the cheek. Sure, she said. Hagen started to protest and she screamed at him in Italian. Then she led Kay to the door. There she kissed her on the cheek very quickly and said, You forget about Mikey. He no the man for you anymore. There was a car waiting for her with 2 men up front. They drove her all the way to her hotel in New York, never saying a word. Neither did Kay. She was trying to get used to the fact that the young man she had loved was a cold-blooded murderer, and that she had been told by the most unimpeachable source, his mother.
Oh.
So Kay knows.
She knows.
And I guess they never make that clear in the movie. If she knows.
Suspects.
Yeah.
Because remember, he says she can only ask him about his business one time.
I know. I can't believe she blew it on that, whether he had Carlo killed or not. I guess that's a good time.
You should have said, can I ask more questions? You know what I mean? Like wishing for more wishes.
Yeah. Okay, that's an old trick. And I won't fall for it.
Tom Hagen's like the wish lawyer. We accept that wish. It may imply that we're going to give you more wishes.
So that's all I got.
All right. So should we...
Let's rate it.
Yeah, let's rate it. We do have a little bit of Brando in it.
Oh, I know. Brando and his sandbags. Brando and his sandbags and a sense of humor. I think we may have just named the episode.
Brando of the Sandbags.
Marlon Sandbag Brando.
Marlon Sandbags.
You've been sandbagged by Marlon Brando. It's one of those joke shows.
I picture it's like, you've been sandbagged, and then it says, then it has a signature sing by Marlon
Brando.
Ding. All right, I'm going to rate it.
Oh no, it would be you've been sandbagged, and then you'd see as Marlon Brando's signature is being written over the you've been sandbagged icon.
Yeah,
you'd hear what could you do? What could you do?
All right. So what do you want? You got your number?
Yeah.
I got mine.
it. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty clear.
Because you got Brando, you got a tiny bit of Fredo. He's in the crowd.
I mean, yeah, it's not 4 because it's a silent Brando.
Yeah, yeah.
Knowing that he sandbagged those 2 actors made me want to bump it up off to say.
To watch the minute again, just
Yeah.
so you can see it now. This guy's sweating.
Well, that's all I got.
All right. So,
And
what did we come up? What was our catchphrase now? Oh, so if you want to send us an email, we accept MP3s of Zaza.
yeah, we're still collecting those.
There are also some people who said that they maybe we should set up a hotline like Star Wars Minute, but there's a
Where people can call in, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, like voicemails and stuff?
Yeah, Google, you can set up a voicemail
Oh.
box, and that way if people want to leave messages for the show, you
Isn't
can cut
it
all this stuff
easier to
out.
just send an MP3?
I apparently not, because we hardly get any MP3.
Oh,
People
we
hardly
haven't
see-
been talking about it.
So
though.
anyway, so we're always accepting MP3s of Zaza, or if you have a question, or if because somebody was saying, oh, they know some of the answers to some of the questions we asked.
Oh, great.
So,
Oh,
like they
excellent.
know about the police force or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you have anything that might help us until we get the hotline set up, you can just send an MP3. Just go take out your phone, record a voice memo and send it to us. Godfatherminute@gmail.com.
Perfect. Send us your best Zaza.
Send us your Zaza. And until next
time.
time. So yeah, we're going to stick around for the bonus content. But if that's not for you, then we'll see you next time.
And until then, there shall be no acts of vengeance.
on our... Oh, that was terrible.